Right, I know. I promised to be doing regular updates on my health status, but I've actually been a bit sick, so I haven't been able to. In my last update, I was waiting for the results of a biopsy on my lymph node, and that information came in. It came in late. It actually took a full 2 weeks to get that information, which almost brings us up to the date where we are now. But while I was waiting for the results from this biopsy, I actually got pretty sick for about 2 weeks. I'd been congratulating myself after I'd been starting to use this stuff that I was doing rather well, but I did have a bit of a relapse. I've had this issue where I've had my mouth erupt with boils and ulcers, and then my teeth have fallen out. I lost a total of 8 teeth last time it happened. It happened again 2 weeks ago. My mouth was full of boils and ulcers. They move around from day to day. It was crazy. There's no way I want to subject you to me making a video while I'm feeling like that, because it drains your entire system. I was a mess. So I've been struggling through that for 2 weeks. I've been keeping up the use of the ivermectin. In fact, I've now gone out and bought the super duper take home pack of 15 syringes that will last me for a fair while. It's the cheapest way of buying it. I know that I can't do without it. As well as that, I'm also consuming large amounts of this. I'm not going to tell you what it is because of the YouTube algorithms, but you'll find if you search this word here online, you'll get lots of good information on it. Don't use Google. Google will give you a very biased selection of search results. You need to be using one of the impartial search engines that give results on whatever you type into the search box. Once you've done your research and you've decided that this stuff might be of some use for you, you can buy it in various sizes from these people here. It's a very simple website address, dx50.co.nz. They're great to deal with. I decided to go and buy the party pack because I realised that it was good value for money, and this stuff has so many uses. Trust me, every home should have 20 litres of this. But anyway, the update. Where was I up to? Yes, I've been sick. I've been feeling really awful. When I got the results from the biopsy, the next thing they wanted to do was get me in to have a talk about them. So I had that meeting yesterday. At that meeting, they took more blood and gave a very specific test. That test that they gave me was the PSA test, the prostate specific analysis. And what we're looking for is proteins associated with the prostate gland in the rest of my lymphatic system. And that confirms that my prostate has been affected by this. Now, prostate cancer is a very common cancer. I think it's the most common cancer in males over 40 years old. It's very treatable, but there are different levels of it. It's all measured using this system called the PSA test. Now, a bad PSA test is anything over 0. Ideally, you should have none of these proteins floating around anywhere else in your system. Something with a count of 2 to 3 is very low, but is of concern. Anything around 5 or 6 warrants treatment. My PSA rating, my PSA score is 7,630. They're surprised that I wasn't already dead. She told me, "You're a tough bastard." So here I am being a tough bastard with a PSA of 7,630, They've put me on some hormone blockers to try and lower it, and they've put me on quite a high dosage. I've been researching the dosage. 150 milligrams a day is super high. That's what I'm on. And then eventually they'll probably also want me in for an injection version of the same thing to get really serious. Then they're going to be pushing me into chemo and radiation. First of all, localized radiation, because in the last 10 days I've been walking around on a crutch. I've got something going on in my groin here, and he put his hand in there and just went, yep, lymph nodes. He could feel them straight away. I didn't recognize them, but that bumpiness should not be there. That's a smooth muscle sheet, but I've got inflamed lymph nodes over the top of the muscle sheet on the inside of my groin. So yeah, look, it's super concerning. I'm doing the very best that I can with what I've got, and the allopathic medicine people are doing the very best with what they've got. I'm keeping an eye on them. I don't really want to be getting into anything that could be dangerous. So when we find out the type of chemo, I'm going to be making a decision on that after doing some of my own research. One thing I'm very glad that they don't want to do, and that is a prostate biopsy, because that involves going in through your anus and going in through the wall of your lower intestine. It's quite risky, and the risk of contamination is high, and I'd just rather not go there unless I absolutely have to. But things are getting serious now. Things are getting very serious. I'm sorry to bring you content like this because I don't find it fun, but I've got the channel, and the channel's got a good viewership, and so I just want to share anything that is to do with rebuilding, recycling and repairing, and right at the moment that's me. So I'm going through all this so that you don't have to, hopefully. Anyway, that's my update for the day. I'm going in for another body scan so they know exactly where to direct the radiation, because yeah, we're getting that close. It's all been very fast. The next update will be about that. See you soon. So, public service announcement. Prostate cancer is the most prevalent cancer in males, only males, because women don't have a prostate, in males over 40. It's treatable if it's caught early. Mine hasn't been. I've had no symptoms, and if you start reading and doing your research, you'll find that in many cases there are no symptoms. The best way of detecting early prostate cancer is to have regular PSA checks, which is what I've just had, from the age of 40 onwards. All it is a simple blood test. It goes away to the lab, they check for one specific thing, and that's these prostate specific antigens, whatever things. I'm learning, all right? It's real easy. All they have to do is do a blood test once a year, maybe once every 2 years, but with that blood test they check for one specific thing, and that's the PSA level. As I say, any PSA level is of concern. I've left it way too late because I had no idea. Now I've got to do something serious about it. So let's see how we go.